Hello everybody, Frankie Day here, Frankie Day Models. Okay, for this evening I have for you video number one for my Marx Lewis CLIPPERSHIP Sea Witch of 196 scale, 1/8. Okay, this thing turned into a commission bill. I had no idea that this gentleman wanted this model boat, this model ship. I just brought out that as a plan just to break out the monotony a little bit, just get back and play working with the clipper ships and try to get commission built, so I gotta get hot on this thing. I think I showed this a couple of times on past videos. I've got this thing all done, and we'll go ahead and take the camera. I'll swing down and take a look at the Captain Clipper Sea Witch. Okay, these mats are removable. They come off. They come off. I just gotta pull them off. I stepped up, just take a look at them, see how it looks with the mats on there. It's pretty good. This is an old model, guys. This is very old, very ancient. This thing came out probably the late 1950s. I'd say around 1958. And they had a lot of dealers that made a lot of companies that made models like this that actually weren't very popularized throughout the years. Due to bad management, due to changing or a death in the business or something, it causes the business to go out of business. Now this right here was rarely seen on model shops. Now this one right here, I bought this at Cozy's Hobby Shop in Ventura, California. That was back in 1960. It came in a big old long game box, big heavy box. They had two of them. They made two Sea Witches. They had one with sails, one without. This kit here don't have the sails. This will be the second time I built this here model. And believe me, it comes out really nice when it's done. The blocks in the kit, you're just better off taking them things and throw them in the trash can, get online, get a hold of Blue Jacket Ship Crafters, or get a hold of Model Shipways at Model Expo. They'll ship you all the blocks you need, 1/8 scale blocks, double blocks, single blocks, and all the stuff that you need. Because the blocks that they give you in this kit, you got to draw them out with a pen vise. You got to take a pen vise. I take this pen vise right here and turn and try to bore a hole through the block. Sometimes it'll slip, it'll break the block, and there ain't no way to attach it to with the rigging. So it's too much hassle. You got to have lots and lots of patience. You probably have maybe 2 good ones out of 5 blocks that you can drill out. And the kit to give you a 2mm drill, a pen vise with a wood dowling with a drill stuck in it. It's pretty neat. For the day, it was pretty nifty. It was cool. It's all right. What the most unique feature about this here model is they give you a 10 steel deck. It's called litho. It's all been pre-painted already, and it's very good. It's no 3D yet at all. It's printed almost like that of a card model. But it's a strong metal deck, and you have all the caulkings of the deck are well represented on it. It looks pretty good. I like this deck. No complaints here. Well, okay, like I said, I glued down these mats because these mats got the stepped up everything. I think I stepped up, I got add foot dock rungs all the way through the shackles that go on top of the lower main, the fore, main, and mizzen mast. Then I got my combos up here. Get them pre-rigged. So make sure all the blocks are on this thing of your rig. Then all you gotta do is set your mast in and follow up with your standing rigging. Right now, this is in the phase of standing rigging. starting from the bowsprit, I got to put the bob stays. I've also got to put the martingale stays. And once that's all been attached and all put done, it's time to work for the forestays up to the all your forestays. Once the forestays are all done, then you start working on your backstays. Then you get to add your shrouds. Kit gives you no rat lines. You're on your own there. But back to these combos, these dead eyes or combos, we call them. There's a hole back there you can't see. You gotta make a knot, and a knot will snap inside the back of those holes, the little impressions that are made in the dead eyes. So actually, you gotta reverse the model, keep turning around to hook up your standing rigging for your shrouds and everything. Then you go ahead, you can seize them up and put your spreader boards, your deck boards on your shrouds. This clipper ship was skippered by the most fierce captains of them all, Robert Waterman, also known as Bully the Waterman. Let me tell you about this guy. The crew feared this man. He was master of the Sea Witch and the Challenge and the Rainbow. And he wasn't a very kind captain. He always carried a gun. He always sat aft on the poop on this year, watching all the top men go along. If you didn't move fast enough, he'd take a gun and shoot you off the rigging. Well, his last command was the Sea Witch. She came in minusing 9 men, and he was charged for murdering 9 men, sailors. But being a captain, Lord Master and Executioner at sea is a law of the sea. He's master, and he has the right to do that. So he was acquitted, and no one would sail with this man. He became a cattle rancher. Bully Waterman got his keel and sailed in foretops from being a cabin boy. His father was a Nantucket whaler. And he learned all his modern spike seamanship from him, his father. And he shipped out as a cabin boy. Then he became first mate and become a captain. He was a very mean captain, Bully Waterman was. For no reason at all, if he didn't like what you're doing, he'd take his knotty fist and beat you senseless. And sometimes he'd stretch you on the rat lines and flog you. He'd do it himself. Back in 1851, flogging was abolished. They wouldn't do it on Yankee clippers, but they still did it because that's the law of the sea. That's like the old saying, you got to literally lift these guys into shape. And that's what they did. Captain Abrams was the last skipper on the Sea Witch. Out of Manalassas out there, it's up there by the Caribbean, there's an uncharted reef out there. She stuck a reef and sunk. Carried nothing but wool, the Australian wool trade they had. She was steaming out all the way from Australia to New Zealand, Australia, and also to the Bahamas and back to New York. And these clippers were the greyhounds and freighters of the era, of the time, and those competitive times. Back in those days, like what we don't do now, people always bet money on what clipper ship would be there first. I bet the Sea Witch will be there quicker. She beat the Staghound by 10 hours one time, you know, and they're always betting all the time. So you can see why the captains were very, very stern and very strict. But going beyond the tail was shooting your man, and and flogging them and whipping them into shape is there's no way to go to break a sailor in. Well, that's how it was back in those days. This is an early kit. Lewis Mark, when they first produced this kit, look like the one I have right here, it comes with a pre-printed litho deck and all your deck pitting, your deck houses, your hatches, your bilge pumps, all plastic. They come in separate packages. I like the way they package it. It's a complete kit. You can't beat it. I think the price was $12. I think that's what I paid for this, about $12, a lot of money. And kit goes together, has no fit issues at all. Just gotta take your time. When it comes to drilling holes to the deck, you make sure you got a metal drill. Use a You can use a pen vise, which I really suggest you use rather than use a Dremel tool. Kit comes also with a couple crew figures and the captain. It was also a nice touch for the day. But this kit came in two different flavors. The early kit, like this one here, came with a black hull, with a pre-printed litho deck, and the other parts are all white plastic or tan plastic. They were molded in. So I had to prime everything and paint it. The second release of the Sea Witch came with sails, and that was the mainstay. They didn't make no more of these with no sails. This was the first one they did before they designed the sails to it. The second one I can remember, the one I built before, and matter of fact, it's in my storage right now, inside of a box, unbroken, and it came with a pre-painted hull. It's like the same thing that Revell did on the Cuddy Sark and the Thermopylae and the Alabama and the Kearsarge and the Pedro Nunes. They all came with pre-painted hulls, and by the late 1960s, they stopped doing that. But Louis Marx was known for making toys for children. I had no idea they made scale models. This is the first and only scale model that they ever produced, other than making toys for children. And Louis Marx went out of business by 1960 or 60. By 1961, they went out of business. I think the Mr. Marx himself, I think he passed away. And it's like everything in life, guys. When somebody passes away, the business goes away. And instead of having a strong management to keep the business going, it eventually sours out that way. You can find these hair kits at model vendors, at model convention, model shows. Mostly you find them on eBay. I wouldn't have had no idea how much they cost on eBay, but between the seller or how much you want it. But like I say, I was kind of toying around with this thing, and it turned out to be a commission build. So tomorrow's my day off. I'm going to start making preparations on the standing rigging. So I'm working on the bowsprit and look forward and get it done. Okay, behind me I got my Thermopylae CLIPPERSHIP. I got my Young America sitting top of the box. I got my Galvanic back there, and I'll be working on those back to back. I need to finish these now I'm commissioned to build this, so I got to make some leeway. So tomorrow's the day off, and I'm going to get started on this thing. To break out my plans, get my plan board situation on here, so I can look at the follow the rigging diagrams. Other than that, that's it. Okay, fellas, that's all. That's all I got for this evening on the Mighty Sea Witch. And next video coming up will probably be the Atlantic. We're gonna finish up the standing rig on that, get the showers rigged up, get that done. I'm gonna put that right next to my Isabella right there. I got room there. Okay, that's about it for me. That's it for the Sea Witch, and I'd like to thank everybody for your wonderful comments and candor. And I'll be getting back on the airplane for soon, guys. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got. I was waiting to get the thumbs up for my house coming up, and believe me, I'm going to be loving this. I'll have some space and have my things, so I can see them and look at them every day and know they're nice and safe, and they are just arms away where I can touch them and everything. Like I say, guys, after the death of my wife here, this is all I live for is right here. If it wasn't this stuff, I'd go absolutely out of my mind. I would just nasty away to nothing. And they sound kind of stupid and cornballish, but he's like my children, in a way. I created these things out of my hands. And I hear them, it's like anything, I think they got some kind of a soul to them. And they're a wonderful hobby. I advise everybody to get into it. More kids get into hobbies like this nowadays. Crime in the streets or nothing. That's the problem. These kids nowadays got nothing to do. Oh, yeah. I've been also doing this too, I've got to tell you. Behind me, I've been crafting a pump out of balsa wood. That's going to be for my Monocoop 90. That thing's well balanced, ready to go. I made this out of balsa. I laminated it. And I got another one up here I made too. I got a throttle adjuster back there too. I can adjust the pitch. I'm going to take this prop off, snap it off, put this back on there. I'm going to make me some homemade props. I make them all the time. Put it over here. I'll do it later. Yeah, that's about it for me, guys. Make mama happy, take care of the little ones, and stay focused, spend wisely. And God bless you all. Thank you very much, guys. And stay posted for the video on the Atlantic. I had that coming up for you this week. I also got Firehouse Friday coming up, too. So stay posted that, too. This is Frankie Day Models signing off. God bless you guys. Catch you on the next video. See you, fellas. Bye, boys.